Lyrics of the Lost.
Hello, and welcome to the chilled out vibes of episode 29, as you glide along on your roller skates while listening to smooth music, and all seems right with the world. Welcome, Dave.
Thanks, Peter.
Yeah,
I've been listening to some meditation podcasts as I try and go to sleep lately.
Oh.
I think you could probably have a bit of a side hustle doing that.
Oh, wow. Have you been a bit stressed out and, sleep's not coming easy? A lot on your mind?
Smooth FM, Peter.
Smooth FM's on your mind.
Yeah.
You've been stressing out about Smooth FM. No.
Yeah, it's having the wrong effect.
Oh, no. Chillax now. Come on.
Yeah.
Sweet honey child. Come on now. Yeah.
Ooh. Okay, so my podcast, don't call me Sweet Honey Child, just so you know.
Oh, you'd rather not be called Sweet Honey Child. Okay. All right.
Oh, no, it's fine. I'm open-minded about that.
I thought you said, don't call me Sweet Honey Child.
No, I'm just saying I'm saying the podcasts do not call the listener sweet, the relaxation podcasts.
Oh, well, maybe they should. I don't know.
It might get the heart racing just a little bit.
All right. But it's already time to pick up the pace. We're switching to Overdrive because episode 29 is this. Wired for Sound by Cliff Richard, 1981. Written by Alan Tarney and Brian Robertson. So straight away, our ground is being shaken beneath us because what we thought we knew about the writing of this song is that
when Cliff Richard wrote Wired for Sound, no way was he sitting on a clean lavatory.
That information from Rick Mail in the Young Ones TV show.
I remember that.
Yes. A formative experience, that TV show for many of our generation.
Yes.
And so now we learn Cliff didn't write this at all. And we also don't know if Alan and Brian were sitting on lavatories when they wrote this. And if they were, we don't know if these lavatories were clean or not. So I'm shaken.
Well, yes. And of course, Alan Tarney, we should be familiar with because he produced the second version of Take On Me.
Did he, in fact? Well.
He did, in fact. And Brian Robertson, who's usually known as B.A. Robertson.
Like B.A. Baracus. I pity the fool who doesn't call him B.A.
You've just trodden on my joke. Never mind.
Oh, sorry. Well, it was an awesome joke, I'm sure.
Thanks.
I thought you were going to bring up one of these guys wrote The Living Years for Mike and the Mechanics. I don't know which one it was.
Yes, that was B.A.
Oh, it was B.A.
Yeah. Once he left the A-team, he did that.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
But, now we should get...
Oh, to the
lyrics. There you go. And I have another immediate misheard lyric confession.
Is it the same one that I have?
I hope so.
Yes.
I was clearly having trouble hearing the opening lines of this song because I really can't explain this. I thought he sang, "I like spice people," which doesn't make a lot of sense.
Okay.
And it's not the same as yours?
No.
Okay.
Well, let's talk about yours first, though.
Fair enough, yes, thank you. Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense. I like spice people, unless he's written a song about the peoples of Arrakis in the movie Dune. Because they were certainly spice people. And interestingly, David Lynch would have been preparing, I think, for the first movie of Dune at around this time. So it's possible Cliff Richard wanted to get on the soundtrack and made this song. As a song about the huge sandworms, who are definitely wired for sound. That's what attracts them to attack.
Of course.
Yeah. And if David Lynch had liked the song, he might have brought Cliff in instead of Sting to wear the spiky orange hair and plastic winged underpants of that part.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I saw Dune 2 yesterday, in fact.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
I'm dying to see that, yeah. You saw it on the big screen?
Yes, it was very, very good. The biggest disappointment was, of course, the lack of Sting's metal underpants, and also nobody at any point said, "I will kill him." Yes.
Sounds great. Yeah, but no, surprisingly, Cliff, he's not singing about spice or people. He's singing about speakers. He sings, I like small speakers, quickly followed by, I like tall speakers. And I think it becomes apparent that this song is like a love letter to audio equipment written by a guy who knows absolutely nothing about audio technology and has done absolutely no research. But he's nonetheless very appreciative that it works, this equipment, and produces the music he enjoys. He just can't be bothered to actually research it. Because the next line, referring to the speakers, is, if they've music, they're wired for sound.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you, Captain Cliff Obvious.
So he understands that if music is coming out, then all them wires and stuff inside the box are probably set up correctly to produce sounds and music.
Yes.
Unless he thought they were wired for something else.
Yeah.
But if you do buy a set of speakers, you shouldn't expect them to be wired for washing your dishes or wiping your toilet.
No. And of course, modern speakers may not be wired at all.
Oh, that's right. Yes. Now that we've got Bluetooth and stuff, but, you know.
Indeed.
We can't expect Cliff Richard, as futuristic as he was, to have foreseen the coming of that technology.
No.
It wouldn't be fair on him.
Yeah.
But no, they're wired for sound. Cliff observes that the speakers are in working order if the music is coming out.
Yep.
If they have not music, they might be incorrectly wired. Or he might be looking at some other box-shaped piece of equipment entirely. Yeah, so these are pretty basic observations, but at least it's the beginnings of understanding how things work and basic troubleshooting if they don't work.
But what if they've recorded speech rather than music? They're still wired for sound.
Well, that's true.
So it doesn't have to be music.
That's true. I shouldn't leap to absolutes like that.
That's right.
Yeah, if they're wired for sound, if sound is coming out, not necessarily music.
Yes.
But he likes music. Music's really what he's after, I think we come to learn pretty quickly.
I guess so, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And if you want to properly convey your appreciation for the equipment and the music it produces, I think it just deserves a little bit of research more than the basic observation that I like speaker make music when speaker wired good.
Yes.
I think that's fair to say.
I guess in a minute we can get onto his lack of understanding about how a record player works as well.
Yeah.
But,
yes.
My misheard lyric.
Yes.
Well, until very recently, in fact, I thought the first lines were, I like tall people, I like small people.
Yeah.
Or, sorry, I like small people, I like tall people.
Yeah, like just
give them music, they're wired for sound.
Give them music?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I liked small people, I like tall people, give them music, and they're wired for sound.
Wow, so it's a very inclusive message of, short people, tall people.
Exactly.
Like everybody.
Yeah.
Especially, so long as they like music and will accept the music you give them.
Exactly.
He's cool.
Cliff will not judge you on your physical attributes.
Well.
Big, small, he doesn't care. Although, I mean...
There's a lot more to physical attributes than just big and small.
I know, but you can't fit all of those into a song. He's just chosen some obvious ones.
True. Yeah.
Doesn't matter who you are. He wants you to have music. And if you like music, he'll be your friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's an optimistic take on 80s pop musician attitudes, which, as we know, are often less than proper, a little bit dubious.
Well, I mean, in the 70s and 80s, I think music was very, very tribal. Like if you're a punk, you hated prog rock.
Sure.
If you're an indie kid, you despised any kind of commercial pop music. Spandau Ballet fans hated Duran Duran.
Oh, sure.
Even into the 90s, Oasis hated Blur. These days, music's more about crossing and mixing genres, mashups. Taylor Swift playing piano with Dave Grohl at Paul McCartney's house.
Yeah.
Beyonce making a country album, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, country musician doing Tracy Chapman
Well, yeah, there you go.
That was quite big at the Grammys, I seem to recall.
Yeah. Yep. They could have been tall or small.
True.
Yeah.
But I was thinking more about the 80s dubious attitudes towards women and love and relationships, sort of infantile attitudes there. And
yes,
we'll get to a little bit of that a bit later.
Yeah. No, I mean, according to my Misheard lyric, Cliff just wanted us to all get along.
Yeah.
Whatever you like, whoever you are, I like all sorts of people. Like you.
So long as you like music of some sort.
Exactly. If you don't like music, you're dead to me. But if you like music, I like you.
Yeah. So you sort of saw what I did in the this being someone who doesn't really know how music technology works but kind of likes it, is enthusiastic about it at least.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Because later in the chorus we have power from the needle to the plastic.
Yes.
And again, no, it's just vibrations between those two parts. It's not powered at all. Unless, Cliff is talking about the awesome power of his music created with those two things.
Well, if anything, the energy, not so much power, but energy goes the other way. Power from the plastic is transferred as kinetic energy via the needle.
Yes.
To the turntable, where it's converted into electrical energy and then eventually amplified as sound energy. So, in fact, it's power from the plastic to the needle.
Yeah, but the plastic is receiving its power from the turntable as well.
Well, yes. Okay. Yes. That is true.
But no power between those two things, because otherwise you'd get a little shock as you picked up the needle arm.
And vinyl, famously, not really a conductor.
No. People used to get static shocks, though, I think.
Well, that's true. Yeah. Well, that's probably true. Yeah. On the other hand, you spoke before about how forward-thinking and sort of modern Cliff was. He might have been talking about CDs.
Oh, okay. Power from the needle.
So CDs...
The needle's light in that case.
The needle's... Yes, the needle is the laser light. So CDs were invented in the late 70s, but not available commercially until 1982. But Cliff and, I guess, Alan and BA having their finger on the pulse of these things.
Yeah, they would have been... They're insiders. They'd know about it.
They've moved on from record players already.
Probably, yeah.
So they're talking about needle points of light onto the plastic.
Very good, yeah. And definitely power coming from the needle in that sense, yes.
Yes, indeed.
Although, again, the CD is spinning as well, so that's a kinetic energy.
Well, true.
But yeah, it's that energy is not going anywhere.
Indeed.
It's the laser energy is going to the CD. Nothing kinetic is coming the other way.
No, not in that case.
Yeah, otherwise it'd get very messy. Stuff would break.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, yes.
But yeah, if benefit of the doubt, he could just be talking about the awesome power of his music being transferred between those two things, and that is certainly powerful because he also exclaims, "My music is dynamite." My music is dynamite. So
sure is.
Yeah,
especially Devil Woman.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, so dynamite, very powerful.
Yes.
Some would say that's too powerful for powering delicate audio equipment. Experts warn, don't use dynamite.
Yeah.
It would void the warranty on your record player immediately.
And almost certainly make the needle skip.
Oh, yes. Oh, my goodness, the jump on that needle with a bit of dynamite involved. And the awful scratching noise when it comes back down again.
Yeah.
Awful stuff.
Yeah, well, I can barely walk on the floor when you play a record, so if I let off dynamite in the living room, it would just be disastrous.
That's right, yeah. Even walking could make it skip.
Mm.
AM, FM, I feel so ecstatic now. So AM, FM, he doesn't care which. So again, he's ignorant to the knowledge that FM radio offers higher fidelity for music than AM radio. And if you tune to AM radio nowadays, you're very likely to get no music at all. And you'll just hear angry old shock jock blokes telling you about how this country is going to hell and was much better in my day before we became a nanny state, and Sesame Street was brought to you by the letters LGBT and the rest of the alphabet people who only eat woke vegetables, sprayed with chemicals that reverse the sexuality of the frogs that are grooming our children who get kidnapped and killed in pizza shop basement rituals, which are recorded on Hunter Biden's laptop in a folder right there on the desktop next to Hillary's emails, a bunch of Mel Gibson movies that Jews won't let him release, and a folder of stolen electronic votes from the thumb drives that poll station workers pass to each other to steal elections because they got Trump derangement syndrome from the vaccines, which we didn't need because the virus would have gone away if parents were allowed to smack their children for identifying as furries who need kitty litter in their school bathrooms, and they call you a sissy-gendered racist for not using their correct pansexual pro-adverbs.
Hey.
Yeah?
Chill.
Yeah.
Put a record on. Chill out.
Yeah, you're right. It's right. Chillax. Yeah, there's no music in that sort of thing on the AM band.
No.
Leave it alone. Leave it alone, Cliff.
Yeah. Yeah. But feeling ecstatic is interesting.
Oh, yes. Rhyming ecstatic with plastic.
Yeah. I mean, I did wonder whether they were being extra clever and there was a little bit of a play on the word with static. You know, you get the static between stations on AM, FM. I'm not sure if...
Oh, that's true.
I'm giving them too much credit there. But anyway.
So another futuristic message, because if he's already into CDs, he could be saying, I'm ecstatic because...
it's all digital for him.
Because, I'm all digital. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Secret futuristic messages like Nostradamus's quatrains.
Indeed, yes. But I'm also getting some religious imagery there.
Ooh.
I mean, I know at some point we generally have to stop and check whether a song is either about drugs or God.
Oh, yes.
Could be both, could be either.
We've got needles involved already.
Indeed, power from the needle to the plastic. You've got the needle, you've got a plastic syringe.
Oh, yeah.
Again, though, you would normally have your drugs in the syringe, which would go via the needle. So he's got it backwards again, but never mind.
Oh, yeah.
The feeling of ecstasy, the whole idea of being wired.
Oh, yeah, drugs again, yeah.
Yeah. We have to ask ourselves, was Cliff a smackhead? Everybody else was in the 70s.
Was he smacking himself with heroin?
Was he indeed? But also, sorry, I got sidetracked by drugs, but religious imagery.
Yes.
Again, ecstasy, also a drug, but apart from that, state of euphoria, often associated with an expanded spiritual awareness. He has found music in the same way that born-again Christians will often say they've found God.
Right.
So music as a metaphor for God, God as a metaphor for music. Who knows?
Instead of AM, FM, you should have said AD, BC. I feel so ecstatic now.
Ooh, well, yes.
Stereo, out on the streets, you know.
Stereo, out on the street, you know.
Ah, yes.
I know the street. It's not a difficult concept. You know the street, Dave.
I've been on a street.
There you go.
Yeah.
Except Cliff is talking about the street as someone from the streets, which is a life that we pale, straight-laced sissy boys could never really understand. Cliff used to run with a gang called the Shadows.
Yes.
They were a bunch of runaways eating up the night, knee-deep in the hoopla. To quote the other vicious street gang, Jefferson Starship.
Yeah.
Around the same time.
Yep.
Yeah, and I was thinking Cliff's life on the streets amid the gang violence, that's, I think, key to the deeper meaning of this song. The phrase wired for sound usually refers to a room or a person that has been wired up with listening devices, ready to secretly record some damning evidence between criminal suspects.
Yes.
That's record, not play. You don't want the criminal you're about to rat out wondering, what's that music coming from your pocket there, Cliff? Is that a Sony Walkman?
It's very important that you press play and record at the same time.
Oh, that's right.
Otherwise,
yes, that was the
it
way.
Won't go round. Yes.
But Cliff's careful. He's smart. He was born into a life of crime. He never chose it. He never wanted it. So now he's got his Walkman set to record, and he's got
Cassette in my pocket and I'm gonna use it.
a cassette in my pocket, and I'm going to use it. to get the evidence out on the street, with Mr. Biggs applying their cruel trade. So
yeah, he probably should have been a little bit more prepared, taken it out of his pocket and put it into his Walkman before meeting Mr. Big.
Oh, yeah, the cassette, yeah.
Because that would look a little bit obvious if he has to get it out of the case,
to
put it in the
shuffle
Walkman.
around a bit.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't mind me. Play and record. Click. Anyway, what were you saying?
I was small boy who don't like his toys.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because as a youngster, he would have been groomed into the criminal life, showered with expensive toys that he couldn't enjoy because he felt the guilt. He knew those toys were tainted, and he felt tainted. So he
could not wait to get wired for sound.
Could not wait to get wired for sound.
Yeah.
And then grass up them Mr. Biggs, what are doing all the blag. Yeah?
Yeah.
That's why he likes speakers. That's what he calls the crims that speak, speaking openly and boasting of their crimes as he secretly records.
Like a grass.
Yeah, that's right. He's a super grass. Some are short speakers, some are tall. He likes them both so long as they speak.
Yes.
Yeah. He's taken the big guys down.
Yeah.
I think that's a strong theory. Yeah.
Yeah. I just objected to that line on the basis of the mixed tenses, which I found offensive.
I was small boy who don't like his toys.
Yeah, also he's left out small boy. But yes, I was a small boy who don't like his toys. That's yeah, sorry.
Yeah, you're right. Mixed tenses and really sort of cramming it in. Whereas the lovely bit in the chorus, power from the needle to the plastic, even though it's not technically correct, it fits so beautifully.
It's true.
Power from the needle to the plastic. It's it's quite musical and it really fits well.
It's true. In fact, I found myself really enjoying that chorus, despite myself.
Yeah.
And
sorry. Yes.
No, carry on with that thought. I wanted to get back to.
I've finished that thought now.
That's good. Yes.
Walking about with a head full of music.
The walking about with a head full of music.
Yes.
Stereo out on the street.
Yes.
Whoa. I think it's a warning.
Whoa.
Exactly. This happens a couple of times in the song, and when it happens, I think those are warnings, right?
So you're saying, whoa, pull up.
Exactly. Just hang on a second. So at that time, walking about with a head full of music was a fairly new thing.
Oh, yeah.
So we're talking really about the invention of the Sony Walkman, right?
Yeah.
And before that, if you wanted to walk around with a head full of music, you probably just had a little transistor radio with an earphone stuck in your ear, unless you had a massive boombox on your shoulder, which filled not just your head, but the street and everybody else's head with your music, whether they wanted you to right. Or not.
That's right. So, they did have little transistor radios. Did they use little headphones with those? I don't even know.
Yeah, you get little mono earplug things. Yeah. But, of course, if you had a cassette in your pocket and you wanted to use it, unless you had a boombox, you had to wait until you got home or in your car. Exactly, yeah.
That's interesting. I hadn't actually made the connection that, the song is pretty much about the debut of the Sony Walkman. I was thinking, it's all about the Sony Walkman just because of the video, which features that so prominently. But sorry.
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah. So as we've already discussed, Cliff is looking to the future, right? So much as Cliff Richard in the Shadows' 1958 hit Living Doll predicted the invention of the sex robot, I find this verse predicts one of the most serious health and safety concerns of the last 20 years, which is getting hit by a car because you're too busy listening to your headphones, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So head full of music's blocking out all the other sounds. Out on the street, whoa. Don't just wander out into the traffic. Improve your situational awareness. Concentrate on your surroundings. Look out for that bus. Whoa.
Indeed, yes, of course.
Yeah.
Even worse now, they're people are likely to have a head full of music while they're also looking down at their phones and perhaps choosing the next track on Spotify or something. Yeah.
Exactly, or texting, or yes.
Yeah, that's
shocking.
That's a very good public health message there from Cliff.
Actually, I was just looking into this a little bit, and it seems around about 2010, this was actually quite a significant problem. There'd been a big increase in pedestrian deaths.
Was that here or?
Well, worldwide.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you remember the Grim Reaper TV ads from the 1980s.
Oh, yes.
Made to promote awareness of HIV and how to prevent transmission.
Yeah, that was just Australia, I think.
Yes. But another ad in Australia that I can't believe why I don't remember this. So the Pedestrian Council of Australia came up with their own ad, which I imagine was meant to be as effective as the Grim Reaper TV ads, using the slogan, "Lambs to the slaughter, wait for the green."
Oh, wow.
Accompanied by posters of people with sheep's heads crossing the road.
Jeez,
seems really catchy.
I don't remember that at all.
No.
Did the lamb's heads also have headphones on? Or
I didn't actually find a picture of it, but
so maybe they didn't actually realize why there was this problem of people walking out into traffic more often, and they hadn't focused it down to, oh my God, it's the mobile phones and music or looking at them.
Yeah, no, it's just...
They were just saying people are being inattentive like sheep.
Exactly, or they're sticking sheep's heads on top of their heads and they can't see where they're going.
Well, no, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to see through all that extra wool.
Yeah.
Unless you've just been freshly shorn, in which case you're probably fine.
Indeed.
And so those people crossing the road, were they sheeple?
I think they were. Wake up, sheeple.
Sheeple.
Take your earphones out. Do your own research about what happens when you cross the road.
Yes. Do your own research. Oh, dear.
Yeah.
That's very good. Yeah, Cliff's actually coming out of this episode looking quite good.
Yes.
He's being very inclusive about short people and tall people. Or short and tall speakers is really... It's good to be inclusive of all speakers. Yeah.
To be honest, I was pretty disappointed when I learnt that it was speakers and not people. But anyway.
It seems weird that, we both, and people generally, I note, have heard speakers as people because you'd think those two words are significantly different. But
Yeah. No, I did look it up on the Misheard lyric websites, and I'm not the only one that thinks that. So
yeah.
I guess I feel better.
But I am, I think, the only one I could find that thought it was spice people. and I think, the S sound at the end of spice leads into people, speeple, which makes it sound like speakers, I guess. So I can explain it that way.
Yeah.
Spice people.
Speeple, sheeple.
Or maybe...
Yeah.
Maybe I thought it was about people who wear Old Spice. Or,
Or like a more inclusive version of the Spice Girls.
Yeah. Or like slice people. There was a really nice ice cream called the Slice. No, Splice. It was
Splice, yes.
The Splice ice cream was really nice with the sort of lemony...
I like Splice, people.
Yes, bring me Splice, people.
Yeah. No paddle pops, Splice.
Yeah. Well, paddle pops are pretty good too. Gosh.
Yeah, true.
Reminiscing about everyone's favourite childhood ice creams.
Yes.
Write in and tell us your own favourite childhood ice cream, everyone.
Indeed. I also think there's a warning in the next verse.
A similar sort of warning? Is it all in keeping? Is it all part of an overall pedestrian warning? Or
Well, this is a warning about road rage.
Okay, well, that's not too far off the other one. So that's
exactly. It's a road safety message. So into the car, go to work, and I'm cruising. So into the car, go to work, and I'm cruising. Sounds all right so far. I never think that I'll blow all my fuses. I never think that I'll blow all my fuses. So he's just not expecting what's going to happen, right?
Is he...
Traffic flows.
Is blowing the fuses, that's getting really, really angry, isn't it?
Exactly. He's blown a fuse. So he's cruising along. He's feeling okay.
Yes.
Cruising the car, stereo's blaring.
Yep.
Then he's in the traffic.
Yep.
Traffic flows into the breakfast show.
It's flowing, but it's slow, and he needs to get to work. He's stressed. He's anxious. He's frustrated.
Oh.
The breakfast show is on the radio.
Oh, breakfast shows that.
Could be AM. Could be a talkback shock jock
Ah.
discussing the issues of the day.
Yes,
It starts to make him angry.
that would.
Yes. Now, this was 1981, right? So I checked some of the events of 1981 that they could have been discussing on talkback radio that might have made him angry in his car, right?
Uh-huh.
There's a number of things.
Thatcher.
The National Coal Board, Thatcher, indeed. National Coal Board announced widespread pit closures, so we're right in the thick of Thatcher. The Archbishop of Canterbury advises that the church will see homosexuality as a handicap and not a sin. I think that's going to make everybody angry, no matter what your view on that is.
Yeah, that's
Makes me angry.
something in that for everyone to get upset
Yes.
about.
Exactly. Enoch Powell
Politician.
warns of a racial civil war in Britain.
Oh, okay.
Again, something to make everybody angry. Tom Baker left Doctor Who and was replaced by Peter Davison, something to make the nerds angry.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
Unemployment rose to 10%.
Oh, what with all them pit closures?
I think with all them pit closures and car factories closing down and all that stuff, just Thatcher stuff. Bucks Fizz represented the UK and won the Eurovision Song Contest. That could make Cliff angry
Oh, yeah.
because he thought it should be him.
Okay.
And of course, Prince Charles married Lady Diana Spencer. That could make people angry if they either wanted to marry Prince Charles or Lady Diana.
Yeah.
Plenty to make people angry.
Damn it. They're off the scene. They're off the dating scene.
Off the market, yeah.
My chance is gone.
Yep. So he's angry. Slow traffic, high unemployment, Bucks Fizz. Bam! He blows all his fuses. And before you know it, he's trying to strangle the driver of a Reliant Robin with the headphone cable from his Walkman.
Oh, no. But hang on. Is it the line is, let me see.
Look, I may be extrapolating a little, but...
I never think that I'll blow all my fuses. Well, you
you
never
never
do
think you're going to,
until
right?
you do.
Yeah, exactly.
Ah,
yeah.
okay. I see.
Until the breakfast show makes you angry, and then Cliff goes, whoa! Whoa, chill out, man.
Yeah, I did listen to that and think, okay, he's into his music so much that he's chilled out even while he's driving to work, and traffic flows into the breakfast show like it's a seamless transition of the flowing traffic and then into breakfast radio shows, which for me, there's very little music in them these days. It's all just a talk fest, AM or FM.
True.
And there's no flow in that to my mind. Maybe there used to be more back in the day. They had more music and less talk.
Yeah.
They're always claiming to have more music, less talk.
Yeah.
But yeah, that pisses me off. Pisses me right off.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Whoa, chill out.
Because then you've got the whoa again straight after that. So every time that comes on, it's a warning. Yeah.
Exactly.
So the next time he does go whoa, he's talking about a bit of a relationship, which has been shoehorned into this song.
Definitely a warning. Yeah. There's some red flags there too.
Yeah. Just when I thought, finally we have a song that isn't dated. Well, I mean, it is very dated, but I thought, yay, it's not dated by the sort of 80s and earlier pop attitudes to women that we've seen so much with the misogyny, objectification, coercion. But then, ouch, we have...
I met a girl and she told me she loved me.
I met a girl and she told me she loved me. That escalated quickly. It's possibly an adolescent fantasy of girls throwing themselves at his feet, perhaps. But then
I'm sure he had groupies. I mean, he was a pretty famous pop star.
I guess.
He probably had girls screaming that they love him all the time.
I suppose.
Yeah.
But then, so maybe that's distorted his view of what love is.
Could be.
And then we have...
I said you love me, then love means you must like what I like.
I said you love me, then love means you must like what I like.
That is not a healthy relationship.
I'm pretty sure that's not what love means at all.
No.
I think you'd have to go pre-adolescent now and ask a 7-year-old what love is to get an answer like that.
Love means you must like what I like. My music is dynamite.
My music is dynamite. So particularly, he's saying she must like his taste in music.
Well, yes. Does she have to like his taste in music, or does she actually have to like his music?
Yes.
Hey, my music's great. We're just listening to Daddy's Home.
Yeah. Or Devil Woman, yes.
Or Devil Woman.
Yeah, to be fair, if you are going to be in a relationship with Cliff and you absolutely hate his music and can't stand the voice of him singing, then it's probably not a good pairing because, you know, it's not a hobby for Cliff. He is an artist and musician. And yeah, love would likely have to include some sort of genuine appreciation of your partner's art. But if you're not an artist, no, she doesn't have to like what you like. So typical 80s rubbishy attitude to women there.
Yeah. Look, I think it is important to have interests in common, right? But perhaps he could try something that she likes. She might be into painting or mountain climbing.
Yes.
Or motorsports or gardening.
Well, exactly.
You could have a go at that.
Exactly. But you can't tell Cliff this. You can't tell pop musicians. You can't talk sense to them, you know? They just have these ingrained attitudes, probably, as you say, from, you know, women throwing themselves at his feet. Yeah. Then from the girl's side, we have She Said.
She said, I'm not a girl you put on at a standby.
I'm not a girl you can put on at a standby, which is interesting.
I don't know what that means.
Is she saying, I'm not like the short and tall speakers that you like so much. I don't have a little red LED light that says I'm in standby mode and you can turn me on anytime. But the words aren't, I'm not a girl you can turn on at a standby. It's, I'm not a girl you can put on. Perhaps like, you're putting me on. She might mean that, you know, you can't fool me so easy with your smooth Cliff Richard ways.
Yeah.
Or the other difference to today's technology, you don't turn on a record, you put on a record.
Oh, yes.
And you do that by putting it on the spindle of the turntable, but also by putting the needle on it. So, this could be about drugs.
Sure.
Or sewing. Shout out to Danny Minogue, who had a sexy pop hit with Put the Needle on It. And if it is about sewing, perhaps
Switching to
overdrive could be a mistake for switching to overlocker. So
perhaps. But if that's her interest, if she's interested in sewing, Cliff should be
supporting that.
Indulging that interest.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You know, if she sews stuff for you, wear them on stage to show that, you know, you appreciate them.
Exactly. As long as it's not too shit. Anyway, I think good on her. She's standing up to his overbearing, bullying attitudes. And
that's when he then says, switching to overdrive. I'm not sure what that means. Looking up overdrive, overdrive is what is now fifth gear, basically.
Oh, yeah.
After 4 gears, they had some sort of intermediary technology which involved a button for overdrive, which basically acted like a fifth gear.
Yeah.
And now it's been replaced by a fifth gear. So Cliff is basically saying, I'm switching stuff up. I'm, putting in full effort here to make this work. Maybe that's what he's saying.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can overdrive an amplifier, right? So if it's a guitar amplifier, you turn it way up.
Oh.
They will overdrive it, so it'll give you a more of a kind of a distorted sound. So maybe he's just turning up the music so loud to drown out her complaining.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. Hadn't heard of overdrive in that sense, but you're more familiar with amplifiers, which are different to speakers.
Well, a speaker is a component of an amplifier.
But
you would attach a speaker to an amplifier, yes. And if they're music, they're wired for sound.
Yeah. An amplifier takes the music signal and amplifies it.
Indeed.
And a speaker just speaks the signal straight out without... But I mean, you got a volume knob, but I guess it will only do so much without an amplifier as well.
Yes.
Is that right?
Well, that's true, yes. The volume knob will... Without some kind of power to amplify the sound, a volume knob really can only turn it down, can't turn it up.
All right. See, I couldn't have written this song either. I could have written this song because it has no technological accuracy whatsoever. But, I would have put in a bit more research if I was to write this song.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And I would hope a slightly more modern attitude to relationships.
Yeah. Well, it's how I've been brought up. Mum taught me right.
Yeah. Anyway, she should dump his ass and stomp on his headphones.
Yes. Even if he is switching to overdrive. It's not enough.
I would say, there's been a lot of metaphorical stuff about records and needles and radios and the breakfast show and all that stuff. It seems like they've kind of ran out of it then when they got into the relationship part.
All right.
And they're just sort of stringing together words that might have something to do with sound amplification. Yeah,
because there is a line as well, which I've skipped over, which is,
I am a girl who demands that her love is amplified.
I am a girl who demands that her love is amplified. So
yeah,
she's bringing in amplifiers. He's been talking about speakers. Perhaps they've been speaking about being in standby mode. I don't know. But yeah, they've tried to bring in a lot of technological references.
Yeah,
and good on them. It's nice to have a theme.
Yes, nice try, BA and Alan. Nice try.
Should we talk about the music video?
Yes.
Yes. So quite the iconic music video. We've got Cliff on roller skates, the old 4-wheel variety, per skate.
Yes, indeed.
For the whole thing, almost. Rolling around the pavement outside the futuristic Milton Keynes shopping centre. That's where this was shot.
Indeed, the way of the future.
Yes. This shopping centre once held the record for the world's longest shopping mall, I'll have you know, in 1997.
Well, that'd be awesome for roller skating.
Well, indeed, yes, yeah.
Yes.
And Cliff's wearing huge, creepy aviator sunglasses that make him look like a 1970s serial killer or that early police sketch of the Unabomber.
He was very into those glasses. He had them for quite a long time, as I remember.
Oh, he did? Yeah. And were they like tinted, like, or not quite sunglasses, but just sort of tinted glasses?
Yeah. I don't know.
Sort of yellowy tint at the bottom.
Yes.
So that everyone can look jaundiced.
Yes.
You want that. Actually, wearing my sunglasses in Australia, I don't like them because they do make everything look even browner than Australia often is. Even when we've had lots of rain and there's like green abundance, if I've got my sunglasses on, it's like, geez, looks a bit brown and dry, which is sad.
Yeah, true.
I wish they had more of a green tint, my sunglasses.
Yeah. Or you can have the more grey ones that always look like there's about to be a thunderstorm.
Oh, can you? Oh.
Yeah.
I'll have to check in with my optometrist about these things.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, I mean, there could be a mental health, impact to wearing the wrong tint in your glasses if it makes you think everything's dried out and dying. Also, if you think it makes it look always overcast, people get depressed by the weather too.
Yeah, well, you should look at the world through rose-coloured glasses.
Well, that's right, yeah. And you can feel like everybody's been rubbed raw and almost bleeding. Or they've been sunburnt or something, I don't know. Or they're really angry at you. Everybody's really angry.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
They're all beet red. I don't know how that would work.
Yes.
I'll look into it.
But yeah, Milton Keynes and Milton Keynes Shopping Centre, ultra modern.
For the time, yes. Great for skating on.
Yes. Indeed.
And so Cliff's got the big aviators on and he's got a Sony Walkman cassette tape player clipped to his hip and wired up to his headphones.
Indeed.
And a group of other skater girls around him are dressed in neon color body stockings. Very cool.
Yes, very modern.
Yeah. But you've got to applaud Cliff for getting on skates to get down with the younger generation here. And he looks pretty stiff on those skates at times. They try to only show him after he's gotten up some speed and is just sort of gliding along.
Yeah.
But there are still some shots where you see him take some big awkward strides as new skaters. They tend to try and walk as they skate. Rookie era.
Yes.
His leather pants weren't helping either.
No, I would think not. Well, yeah, like he was 40 or 41 when the song came out.
Oh, yeah.
And like as a kid, I remember seeing it, and I'm pretty sure I remember thinking, what's this old man doing, trying to act like he's young with his Walkman and his roller skates?
And those creepy sunglasses on.
Yeah. And the creepy sunglasses, yes.
Why is he chasing those chicks in neon body stockings around?
Yes.
Someone call the police.
Yeah. Yeah. And what's with the tight leather pants? Who's he fooling?
Well, it's a good safety thing to wear leathers if you're about to fall over on skates.
I guess so.
Yeah.
The knee pads are all hidden inside, I guess.
Yeah, there's probably some other takes. He probably started out wearing a helmet as well, a motorbike helmet.
Just holding onto the railing the whole time.
Yeah, and after the choruses of oh whoa 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 whoas, he does throw in a few off-note ones after the initial oh whoa 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 whoas. He goes oh oh oh, and that sounds a bit like he's losing his balance on his skates, probably waving his arms around to sort of stay up. Whoa oh oh. Or he's doing his Blakey impression. Oh, 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 I'll get you, partner. Oh, oh, oh. But yeah, he's not a good skater. And that actually makes me question if he was ever really a superstar. Because Avril Lavine has since taught us, in her biggest hit, Skater Boy, wherein the titular Skater Boy is rejected by a girl because he was just a skater boy. And she said, see you later, boy. He wasn't good enough for her. But then in the next verse, now he's a superstar slamming on his guitar. So, pretty much immediately he went from skater boy to superstar. And I think there must be some correlation there between being a good skater and becoming a superstar musician. So can Cliff, a poor skater, really have been a superstar, or is he a massive fraud? Because skates don't lie.
You're just asking the questions.
And much like Shakira's hips don't lie.
Well, yeah. It's hard to imagine just how big roller skating was at that time.
Yeah. We were there.
In the early 80s. We were there. We remember. I mean, again, I did look it up. It was invented 100 years before then, but... oh,
really? Yeah, that long? Wow.
Oh, yeah, probably even more. But like in popular culture of the time, we had Xanadu, the Olivia Newton-John musical.
That's when it took off again.
With music by ELO.
It was the combination of disco and roller skates.
And Gene Kelly, yes.
Oh, was there a big Gene Kelly number on roller skates?
What? Yeah, he was in that too. So it was like ELO, Gene Kelly, roller disco, ticked all the boxes.
Okay.
We also had Starlight Express, an Andrew Lloyd Webber musical about a steam engine. I actually had no idea what this was about till I looked it up.
Me neither.
But it was about a steam engine, but all the actors performed on roller skates.
Confusing.
There were a few music videos with roller skating. So Hanson, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They had the blades at that time, yeah. Roll blades.
Oh, yeah. So that was a little bit later. Yeah. Even Dire Straits, who might have been popular but were never particularly cool, they had a whole song about roller skating with a video to match.
Oh, sure.
And even in the uncool heart of suburban Sydney, we had a roller rink, which was a big deal at the time.
Yeah.
And that probably would have lasted most of the 80s. I can't remember when it closed.
Yeah, I went to a few birthday parties there. For sure.
Yeah.
Actually, you bring up our last podcast episode. What were they called again? Hanson. Yes.
Hanson.
Yeah. Do you think Hanson were giving a bit of a nod of the head, a tip of the hat to Cliff Richard by including some rollerblading? They were saying, "Hey, here's one for all you aficionados of Wired for Sound. We're skating."
I'm sure it was a big influence on them.
Yeah. Bound to have been.
Yeah.
They were very precocious. I'm sure they
indeed
took in a lot of music history to have come out so early with such a big hit. What was it called again? the last Mbop. That was it. Yes. Yeah. Who could forget that? They must have studied all of pop to have been able to come up with that so quickly. Well done, boys.
Well, exactly. Yeah. It was their little tribute to Cliff Richard and his trouble with roller skating.
Yeah. Yeah. I was also thinking with the video that it could carry on from my earlier theory where Cliff was a supergrass wearing a wire for sound.
Ah, yes.
And now perhaps in the video, he's formed a 1980s crime-fighting vigilante team on roller skates, like a sort of second-tier or third-tier Marvel Avengers. Or actually, the neon body stocking girls, they pretty much look like Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
That's true.
Could be that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And maybe they just they skate around Milton Keynes shopping centre catching criminals, so long as the crims don't run up any stairs. So that they fight crime on smooth, open cement only, that sort of thing. And maybe this music video, it was possibly the pilot for a BBC TV series that didn't get the green light. It's maybe going to be on before Minder.
Yes.
Possibly with a strong lead in from repeats of Dad's Army. I think I could see that going quite well. Yeah.
Yes. Roller Man.
Something like that. And
yeah.
And the Neon Babes. Yeah.
Indeed.
So I believe you have another theory.
I think that would. Yes, I was getting more of a kind of a culty vibe off this video.
Religious cult?
Well, possibly. One of the things that struck me first off was that Milton Keynes shopping centre seems to be almost completely deserted.
Yeah.
Apart from Cliff and the colourful ladies.
Yeah. Maybe it's post-apocalyptic.
Could be. That was my first thought. But yeah, so like at the start of the video, he's walking, right?
Just to make a quick note. You mentioned earlier about the whoa-whoa-whoa-whoas being warnings. I was a bit worried for Cliff when he was jumping up on the side of that fountain and walking along without even looking down.
No.
I nearly said, whoa, 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 Cliff.
Yes.
Look out for what you're doing there. Eyes down.
Yeah.
That's a rare occurrence of, eyes down to be safe, as opposed to crossing the road. Keep your eyes up.
Yeah. I think by that point he'd put his headphones on as well, so he probably wasn't concentrating.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. He wasn't on skates at that point, definitely, because that would have been crazy dangerous.
That would be too much.
Edge of a fountain.
Yeah. No, don't do that, kids. Yeah. Anyway, so he's walking around this apparently deserted wasteland alone. Then these skaters appear. Yeah. Right? At first, I wasn't sure whether he could see them or not, because they're kind of circling around him, but he doesn't interact with them in any way. And he seems like he's trying to mind his own business, and he puts his headphones on. And then I thought, well, maybe he's actually trying to avoid them.
Maybe they're a gang that are accosting him.
Well, exactly. So later on, it cuts to he's driving his car.
Yes.
And you can actually see some other cars on the road, and he's sort of furtively checking in his rearview mirror, right? So is he being pursued? Who's pursuing him? It could be the mysterious skater ladies.
Yeah, and
not sure.
The resolution wasn't good enough in that video to see if any of the drivers of the other cars were in neon body stockings. So it's possible.
No, impossible to tell. Yeah. So next, we're back into the shopping centre, but now he's on skates, right? And as you've pointed out, he doesn't look very confident. At one point, he's even waving his arms in the air, and he looks like he's in trouble.
Yes.
And then at that point, some of the skaters are going the other way at first, and then they turn around and they follow him.
Oh, yeah. And some of them are skating backwards too, which is beyond Cliff's abilities.
Yes. Yeah. It's kind of really kind of casual, but also quite threatening. Right, so they're surrounding him, and I think they were definitely after him at that point. Then we cut to this quite disturbing scene with the coloured lights.
Yes.
So I'm assuming they've kind of chased him into their lair.
Oh, okay.
But when he emerges, he's a changed man. He skates out alone. He appears calm, he appears cool, and he seems to have learned how to skate a bit better because he does a little twirl.
So some sort of brainwashing in that dark area with the light.
Yes, absolutely.
And also the spinning around with the girl.
Well,
that might have put him in a sort of a suggestible mindset, totally dizzy and open to all sorts of suggestions.
Well, I'm thinking he's been brainwashed. He's in the cult, and he's been paired off with this woman.
Okay.
So that they're doing the little dance, right? So possibly this is part of a multi-generational breeding program to produce the ultimate roller disco champion, right? But what I hadn't realized at the first part of the video was he was already wearing a yellow T-shirt under his leather jacket. which matches
Oh.
the yellow of the woman that he's doing a little spin with.
Oh.
So that I think maybe he'd escaped from the skater cult, was trying to live his normal life, blocking out their influences with his Walkman and his headphones, but now they've brought him back in, put him through re-education in the blue light room, and now he's back in the gang.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yep. So now you can see him skating with the whole group, right? Now there's another scene. His cult membership then seems to go up to the next level because there's more coloured light treatment, including the sort of quite hypnotic part where one of the skaters is spinning around with a light or a flare or something.
Oh, yeah. And so the fact that they're wearing neon-coloured body stockings, does that signal that they're at a much higher thetan level than he currently is because he's having to wear leather?
Well, I think so. Or he's hiding the rest of his body stocking under the leather as part of his escape.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
I can see that.
Yeah. Anyway, when he emerges from this session with the coloured lights, he's transformed once again. He's drunk the water of life, or at least he's had the coloured lights of life shining on him. Now he's not just skating with the pack, he's leading the pack. He's their spiritual leader. He's their chosen one.
Oh.
He's the Lisan al-Gaib.
Is that from Dune?
Yes, it is. Okay. I may have been influenced a little bit by seeing Dune.
You're open to suggestion.
Yes, but he's showing us the power of his mysticism by making those mysterious hand gestures at the camera.
Oh, yeah,
and
they're all floaty hand gestures. Yeah.
Yes, and they're lining up behind him. He shows them the way.
Literally.
So it is written.
Yep.
Yes.
Charismatic cult leader.
Yep.
And the aviator glasses of power.
The power of creepiness.
That could all come together there. Yes, I can see that.
Yeah.
Interesting. So interesting. Other theories from the internet.
Yes.
And there's not much. There's a J. Olden 88 who writes for genius.com.
Oh, yes.
And 88 is probably the year they were born because they write, this song was during the era when the Sony Walkman was popular, one of the earliest MP3 players, hence the title, Wired for Sound. MP3s,
yes.
He says. Cliff could only dream of such things. Yeah.
Back when MP3s came in a plastic box and had tape in them.
Yeah. Cassette in my pocket and I'm going to use it. J. Olden. Magnetic tape.
Yeah.
No MP3s yet.
Indeed.
But
analog, the best.
Yeah, that's right. So anyway, that's not really a theory, but
no.
Yeah, there's not a lot. I came across a new website called songtell.com, which says it delves deeper into your favorite songs, revealing the captivating stories and meanings behind their lyrics through the power of AI.
Whoa.
So, you can get onto this site.
Must be right.
Yeah. If you get onto this site and you look up Wired for Sound, it'll give you the AI's definition of what it means. In part, it says, ultimately, this song is about the power of music and how it can connect people and bridge gaps from the physical, in brackets speakers, to the emotional, in brackets connecting with another person. As if.
Yeah?
That's wild speculation. That's I don't think they're going to take our job.
No. Did you find any other alternative theories?
No, nothing in the way of proper theories.
No. I also had a look. I found something on songmeanings.com. It's not an actual theory.
Yeah.
Although
just a comment.
So Tom Thumb in September 2009 wrote, how can I be the first person to comment on this? This could well be the greatest song ever written.
Yes, that's right. I saw this, yes.
Yes, and then in September 2022, Garbage Guts 68 writes, dare I say it, Tom, the deafening silence over the ensuing 13 years might just indicate that there's not a lot of furious agreement with your suggestion.
There's a great usernames they've got there too.
Yes.
I hadn't noticed them when I did read those. But yeah, Tom Thumb, that's quite coincidental because Thumb comes into our next section on misheard lyrics.
Okay.
In this song, as reported at kissthisguy.com and amiright.com. First we have someone who heard quickly followed by
I like tall speakers.
I like smiles, people. I like ties, people.
Yes.
So, hey, people, I like smiles. I like ties.
Yes. Be happy, dress formally. I like smiles, people. I like ties.
I want to see tits and teeth. That's what they used to say in show business. And the other line, power from the needle to the plastic, someone heard as Thumbelina to the plastic.
Yeah. What?
And there's actually a couple of people who heard Thumbelina. Joyce Clark on Facebook laughs at one of her family members who thought that,
Sure.
yeah, who thought that power from the needle to the plastic was in fact Thumbelina to the rescue. So Thumbelina being a tiny girl in a fairy tale, not unlike Tom Thumb. That's what sparked me. However, Joyce herself incorrectly corrects this to thumb the needle to the plastic, is what she thought it was. So wrong too.
She definitely doesn't know how to use a record player. If you thumb the needle under the plastic, you're going to break something.
Yeah, I would maybe use my little pinky finger underneath to drop the needle onto the plastic. Maybe. Yeah, suck it, Joyce. You're wrong.
Yeah.
And that's all I've got. Those are the only misheard lyrics apart from my own and yours. Did you come across any others?
Oh, yes.
If they music, they're wired for sound.
Big fat music, they're wired for sound.
Big fat music.
Yes.
Cassette in my pocket and I'm gonna use it.
Go sit in the park and I'm going to use it.
Did you say ghost in a park?
No, that's a good one, but go sit in the park and I'm going to use it. I don't know what that means.
Go sit in a park and I'm going to... Oh, he's going to...
I'm going to use it.
Cliff's like thinking, I'll just go sit in a park and use his Walkman.
Yeah. It may be drug related because the next misheard lyric was I went from the needle to the plastic, right?
Oh, okay. Well, yes, to get off the heavy drugs, you go on to microplastics or something.
Well, yes. So the person who had these misheard lyrics has left a comment. What sort of awkward lyric is if they've music, they're wired for sound? Very British. Well, yes, true.
Yes.
My lyrics are much better. E.g., why does the writer say power from the needle to the plastic when the revolution is about the Walkman? My man, I think she's referring to Cliff, has come off heroin to get into the plastic.
Oh.
So...
Okay.
Replacing the drug addiction with the vinyl addiction, I guess.
Yeah, well, by finding purpose in your life in music.
Yes.
That's quite beautiful.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. Cliff's always struck me as a bit of a, smackhead. Yeah, sure. Anything else on Wired for Sound, Dave?
I think I'm done.
Well, it's time to switch out of Overdrive now, whatever that means. And maybe get some fresh air outside, out on the street, you know. A special shout out to a friend of the show, Jennifer, who has described to me how this very podcast saved her life. Yeah?
That's what we're here for.
Yeah. She's told me this a couple of times now because I think she suspects I don't quite believe her or it's an exaggeration. But when her car was stuck alone in the desert, near Broken Hill in Australia's unforgiving outback, she had intermittent mobile reception, and panic was rising and consuming all her hope, except, were it not for our calm, critical, and sarcastic voices burbling away on her car speakers. She listened to some 5 hours straight of this podcast while she got her car out of thick mud, got stuck again, got out again, etc., etc. And she notes she was too preoccupied to actually follow what we were saying, but she feels very strongly that we saved her life. So that's probably a bit of a mixed review, really. She didn't quite take in the details. It's a solid 3 out of 5, I think. It's a bit like if we had a fan who uses our podcast to help them get to sleep.
Well, look, I'm happy to be of service anyway.
Yeah. And I only hope Jen can listen to new episodes without being triggered of that awful time she had.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, we're just out here saving freaking lives, that's all.
Yeah.
No big deal.
And look, I just hope that when she's not preoccupied by being stuck in mud and she actually has the time to listen to what we're saying, she still enjoys the podcast.
Yeah. Fingers crossed. Do please write in, anyone else, or leave us a speak pipe if we have helped turn your life around in some way. I could really get used to hearing this sort of thing. It's nice.
Yeah.
Well done, everyone.
Yeah.
Cheerio for now.
Bye now.
I like small speakers, I like tall speakers and wall speakers. Most of all, I like loud speakers.
Lyrics of the Lost.